In the dim shadows of an uncertain world, two figures quietly debate their precarious situation. Tension and anxiety rest heavily on their shoulders. One man's worry for Gilyeong's safety coupled with his ability to track a monster raises stakes, while concern for Hyunseong lends a dire urgency. Brave faces mask underlying dread, but the real test has yet to reveal itself. Dokja steps into a realm wrapped in shadow, a guide by his side whose eyes cut through doubt. Probing accusations hang in the air. Did Dokja let a monster go? Unease ripples through him, the weight of past choices pressing down. Danger swirls close, yet confidence teeters as suspicion gnaws. Nothing, it seems, is truly what it appears, or so Dokja fears. Bewildered eyes meet knowing smirks as hidden truths begin to unravel. Ground rats, seemingly trivial, are suddenly key, their habits unveiling secrets more sinister. Information once concealed now dances in the open, a game of wit and deception with Dokja caught in the web. It seems trust, like shadows, is fleeting and oh so easily lost. In an ethereal moment, a hand reaches out in faith. Belief, in what precisely is unclear, yet it hovers with transformative power. Dokja stands at a crossroads, grappling with his perceived identity. Is he fated for greatness or merely a piece on the board? An unexpected question lingers, and the answers, daunting as they might be, await discovery. In a crumbling world defined by chaos and adaptation, identities blur. The tall man claims no divine right, merely playing his part, an outsider. Yet madness nips at the heels of clarity, each step heavier with the weight of foreknowledge. Little does he know, that madness might just be the key to adaptation itself. Dokja slides into the heart of mystery, the ground rat's treasure trove, every corner crackling with unseen danger. Bright lights whisper tales of wealth and woe, but amid the treasure, something more sinister lurks. Caution dances with curiosity as a growl echoes, heralding unknown perils lying in wait. The cramped space thickens with heated words as stolen bicycles and tangled explanations bubble to the surface. Accusations fly, a clash of words with an undertone of intimacy and humor. Amidst the bickering, a young woman injects reason into the discourse, but reason is fleeting in the face of lingering chaos. Words barely spoken hang in the air like daggers as emotions flare. An unexpected confession sparks anger and surprise, igniting a verbal skirmish. Each word, barbed and cutting, dances between tension and reluctance. Shadows loom, movement obscures, understanding eludes, leaving nothing but confusion and frustration in their wake. Sudden noises slash through the uneasy quiet, drawing startled cries from the group. Fear creeps in as they await the inevitable. Whatever has cracked will soon reveal itself. With chilling realization, the characters brace for what's coming. A curtain of anxiety descends. Is the nightmare just beginning? A figure cloaked in shadow emerges from the electrified chaos of the dark fold. Only darkness outlines his skeletal mask. Doom swirls around him, palpable and hungry, as if beckoned by the flames of his presence. Ominous forces curl expectantly, leaving those before him on the brink of something profoundly nightmarish. The warden's ominous threat looms as his aura of fear casts an oppressive shadow over all. Yet patience, manifesting in skills and stratagems, shields Dokja's allies from succumbing. Urgency seizes Sangha as she queries Gilyeong's limit. The true trial bears down, readiness paramount to their survival. The clash of blades reverberates through cavernous shadows, Dokja's disbelief punctuated by the immensity of demonic power. Observing in silence, another gauges the unfolding confrontation. Looming in the backdrop, the menace of the warden casts long-reaching shadows, the stirrings of imminent violence heavy in the air. Fear's oppressive grip is deflected by the fourth wall, yet the warden's dark power thrums deeply. Introduced by a resounding crash, a shadowy presence looms, a sense of dread encapsulated in skeletal guise. It's a monstrous welcome to the fearsome tableau, promising peril to all who dare linger. Ghostly cries pierce through the maelstrom as chaos descends. The marrow of the dark, a harbinger cloaked with celestial foreboding, stands blessed by demonic majesty, channeling power yet unseen. Will those caught in the unfolding storm stand tall or be razed to the ground by what's unleashed? Amid disarray, Sangha wrestles against unseen torment, the name Mother echoing with dread significance. Shadows tighten like a noose, an urgent dialogue on monstrous names foreshadowing deeper intrigue. But his resolve might face tests that mere words cannot fathom, as the void's gaze presses in. Kaladu and Sangha, thrust into a bizarre demand, face the specter of being deemed mother. Their disbelief mirrors our own at the entity's bizarre insistence. Tentacles sway ominously, echoing requests and yet rejecting norms. Engagement with the alien continues, but as fate would have it, such riddles often lack answers. The warden's prowess falters, surprise written across his face as he battles against writhing appendages. An alarming connection to Mother hangs unresolved. Chaos breeds humor, each laugh carved from fear. Meanwhile, an unseen ally readies their strike, intention bent on turning tides, but will it be enough? Kaladu's name shatters the air, urgency carried upon blue energy's waves. Cracks wrench open the world, fear threading with the tremors. The masked figure, poised with malevolence, signals a pivotal clash. Unyielding forces breathe tension, the battle pitched and chaotic. Even for Dokja, safety slips further into question. Sangha absorbs the shock of the breaking world, disastrous consequences settling heavily. Plans and contingencies unfold. Each character wades deeper into fateful uncertainty as the unseen spectator, Dokja, keeps watch. Actions teeter on the brink, carrying them either towards salvation or deeper into the clutches of chaos. Kaladu's determined cries echo in the cavern, met by capricious compliance from a mischievous creature. Desperation blends with mockery as he seeks tools to regain control. An item emerges from chaos, and with it, a chance. Balanced, precariously poised, this union might tip fate's scales. The warden battles on, broken faith illuminating against the creature's tenacious hold. Exhaustion weaves with determination. Legends of valor meet the bite of doubt. Skeletal eyes, watchful and mocking, challenge his limit. And amid this fray, a question festers. Will resolve conquer terror's shadow? As sparks fly, the battlefield's chaos crescendos. Blades clash amidst swirling energy, stakes intangible yet immense. The hollow mask's reflection cleaves through Muse, its menacing countenance met with grim determination. Energy collides, the world pauses on a single breath, and then the clash begins anew. A gauntlet of magic and might unfurls. Voices murmur disbelief as powers converge, casting shadows dark yet woven with valor. Power manifests in vibrant arcs, each cut a calculated strike. But as the battle rages, a question turns: does skill alone carve victory in stone? Kaladu's strength meets its limits, insecurities surfacing even as his glowing sword sings through the air. The energy it demands pulls him deeper, revealing the harsh truth that tools are but servants to prowess. Yet, in acceptance, lies untapped potential, a reader's mindset unyielding before the fray. With calculated intent, the Warden of the Dark weaves strategy into battle, his mastery coalescing with audacious power. The air splits with the cry of vanquished foes, tentacles withering under assault. But victory dances out of reach, shadowed forces stirring, coalescing into trials unforeseen. In a nighttime maelstrom of shadows and swordplay, patterns emerge and fall, a promise of order within chaos. Determined and resolute, the dark-haired warrior seizes brief openings, carving clarity amidst the confusion. Shadows recede, but only for now, underscoring an unending struggle. Kardu, a lurking shadow with sharp grin, ignites unease as the frantic boy grapples for understanding. Chaos thrums, spotting truths in the sporadic greenlit cave. Each revelation sparks dialogue on survival, but amidst earnest inquiries, the true lesson lies beyond just words. Only the wise reader will see. Kaladu's weapon surges with incredible power yet raises doubts. Theories clash among baffled constellations as sparks fly. Enigma floats on the air as this so-called ether blade, wielding an unseen might, speaks more than falsehood. Little does Kaladu know, perception is everything in the tale yet to unfold. The warden stands triumphant, his aura enveloped in electric tension. Jest and threat mingle in a dance around dark treasure, setting the stage for challenges unraveled. And as blades slice the darkness, an unexpected act steps forward, kindling anticipation of greater battles looming just beyond the veil. A coup de grace punctuates the conclusion of the warden's rule. Valor and hubris walk side by side, taunting both victor and ally. With 8,000 coin bounty, success is sweet yet foreboding, for in this world, actions ripple like starlight across midnight currents, unsettling shadows stirring in the depths. Myunggo-han stands gripped by revelation and anxiety as darkness entangles him. K-Kardu speaks of curses and secrets best left veiled, hinting at dire repercussions if threads woven poorly. Behind amused facades lie hidden machinations. As always in their world, the dance teeters on disaster's edge. In a cavern brimming with enchantment, the allure of mystical items tempts inquisitive minds. Each discovery holds promise, yet unease tugs at the edges. Wonder balances precariously with foreboding. One wrong touch, and the spell woven before them might unravel catastrophically. Curiosity sparks debate over mana braziers and bountiful meats, both symbols of survival and irony. Laughter dances with appetite as characters venture the unknown with tongues of courage. Yet hunger's kernel harbors risk, the danger of becoming a feast for more than just ideals or hunger's allure. Amid appetizing aromas and jest, the importance of sustenance takes a surprising form, propelling camaraderie amidst shadows. Reliable humor lightens their load, yet beneath lurks a stark necessity. Knowledge's true currency is survival's only certainty. Myunggo, stunned by Dokja's insights into the unknown, questions the depths of his knowledge. A tale unfolds of languages and survival, revealing hidden potential within allies. Sangha finds hope in collaboration, but cooperation must withstand coming storms, where academia and adventure collide. The cavern shimmers with mystical light as a humble box conceals its secrets. Dokja's plan of placing a monster core inside awakens interest. Flashes of realization brighten intrigued faces, hope mingling with myth. A new discovery unfurls, but magic's whim can be unpredictable at best. Amid excitement, a purple glow reveals treasures yet concealed. Characters chat about constellations, tension nibbling at edges as unseen locks prepare to yield. Moments of potential fracture the air. Decisions amplify stakes, defining paths of destiny, one chance at a time. Magic fills the air as Dokja holds a constellation artifact. Excitement and disbelief intertwine, as whispers confirm the item's rarity. This small triumph balances delicately between responsibility and ownership, for in this world, every decision sets ripples dancing on the water. In the cavern's hush, K-Kardu's cryptic words foreshadow turmoil. Rising anticipation builds, threaded with subtle knowledge and unspoken urgency. Guided by winds of destiny, tense alliances form, unaware they stand before doors that only open in wake of revelation. Gilyeong's distressed cries echo, merging with thud and drip as panic mounts. The landscape veers into chaos as an otherworldly menace appears, forcing reactions. His fate hangs in balance as terror sweeps over the city. Their world trembles beneath the intruder's presence. A chilling revelation, monstrous shadows unfurl above. Urgency grips Gilyeong and Dokja as the invisible tremors portend doom. Knowledge flickers, its light a guide through darkness, but hope dims as turbulence shakes confidence. The ensuing struggle calls. Only quick wit may answer. Within the labyrinth's fading glow, fear mingles with reflection. The group's strength wavered, confrontations echo, leaving resolution frayed. Allies glimpse the delicate tightrope between power and peril, each step sharpening intent. Unease becomes their lodestar through winding trials ahead. Connections and consequences intertwine in shadowy recesses, schemes unfurling beneath watchful eyes. Myunggo's worries stew as secrecy veils future moves. Deep within, uncertainty breeds mistrust. The uncertain knows the clearest truth, and it listens for whispers hidden within a labyrinth's echo. Chaos blazes as suspicion shrouds all in darkness. Validation replaces trust. Laughter rings even as shadows shift with unchecked malevolence. A railway track's secrets whispered, ever revealing yet ever withholding. Mischief brims, itching to stir, altering the balance of their fragile world. Burdened by dread, the air is thick with tension as Gilyeong finds solace in restorative bites. Mischief and contemplation sit side by side. Dokja banter intertwines with solemnity as rules waver like shadows. Yet an underlying truth remains. Choices Hyrien cast echoes that cannot be silenced. Amidst fascinating chaos, newfound treasures gleam in dim light. Regret slips through spoken words, but curiosity stokes drive. Ownership and want clash, revealing an undercurrent of ambition and survival. Each debate on spoils veers towards decisions that could shape destiny. Voices rise with urgency, desperation tinging the air as survival fees loom. Amidst a sea of hunger, a plan for trade morphs into disparagement. Coins and loyalty weigh heavy in the balance, with odds stacked. The night's slipping away and quarter shall not be asked. A brother's plea finds uneasy ground, seeds of doubt shadowed by jeers. Accusations sow discord amid restrained laughter. In Hoch and skills stir conflict within, yet as they revel in chaos, insidious forces beyond plain sight serve as architect biding time. Caught in a web of greed and moral conflict, coins hold untold consequences. Pleas sour and spiral into questions of value and virtue gone astray. The self-consuming dilemma of aid etches tension into corners yet unseen. Sacrifices lie ahead, but who dares decide? Seconds tick by, a dance of survival against moral backdrop. Dokja faces timeless question, what quantifies worth? Laughter echoes as unseen powers pressure, others weigh choices silently. The clock ticks down. Will conviction stand firm or crumble before the narrative's next page? In a dimly lit room filled with strain, a young man with tousled black hair stands at the center of a heated exchange. His expression mirrors the tension as he challenges a stern character demanding his coins. Anger simmers among the group watching. Accusations about selfishness amplify, aiming at Dokja. Amidst uncertainty and conflict, a girl's voice rises to defend him. Outside, beneath the dim urban light, Dokja confronts a formidable character with defiant light-colored hair. Tension crackles as he demands the return of his coins, daring consequences. The surrounding crowd watches, some desperate, some anxious. An air of escalating violence permeates the scene. The moment crescendos with the glint of a weapon, promising a swift escalation. Pandemonium erupts in Jumho Station. A blond boy lunges with a bat, yelling murderously. Shocked expressions envelop the scene as violent chaos ensues. Blood pools, a grim testament to the unfolding skirmish. Amidst the din, a taunting voice ridicules the fallen, his presence shadowed yet menacing. Fear and desperation bleed through the panel. Dokja stands isolated, conflicted in a dystopian underground. Accusations weave through the air, questioning the blame shouldered upon him. A snarl of derision chases him, calling the plight pathetic. His grip tightens on a shimmering sword, blood streaks ominously warn the intensity of what's to come. Every gaze carries judgment, will they, or should they? Minsang's hand flinches on the cold ground, fear painted vividly across his face. Pressured by the weight of expectations about his stats, his gang affiliations. Dokja's words cut through, probing Minsang's fears of those with more power, those with more coins. The room is fraught with tension and expectations. Fear's abundance is palpable. A sly grin creeps across the light-haired character's face as he boasts of his coin accumulation. Dokja, unamused, recounts the dwindling numbers of Jumho's residents, casting doubt on their beliefs about monsters. A chilling skepticism grows, voices rise defensively about missing members. Accusations clash with logic. An ominous atmosphere prevails. The phenomenon of returning stronger grips the group in disbelief. Amid this chaos, voices discuss the morality of coin acquisition through violence. As panic peaks, a boy cries for help, fear flares in his eyes. The cacophony of confusion and dread crashes down, challenging the fragility of their reality. Amidst ticking tension, Inho's laughter cuts through, ego unchecked. The countdown to chaos hurries. Men fearfully wonder how their pride can still forge action, grimly labeled as evil by the constellations of pure good. As a polished shoe strikes the ground, a cue, a confrontation nears. Choices hang heavy. Violence erupts, echoing through the halls as Minsang faces a brutal awakening. Among the turmoil, a resolute girl brandishes a makeshift weapon, eyes burning fiercely against dread and doubt. Shadows loom, echoing fear of aggression. The corridor is claustrophobic in the chaos, all hangers-on to a thin thread of courage. Drenched in horror, a dark-haired character's scream pierces the air as violence finds him again. A weapon's point strikes him. A chilling sneer nearby reminds him of past promises. The oppressive, shadowous setting vibrates in its chaos, laying bare the brutal truth of unchecked animosity. In a mystical whirl of energies, Gilyeong awakens his evolved attribute. His metamorphosis charges the air, marking a powerful shift. Dokja, holding a weapon and a cautious glint, urges patience. Witnessing transformative power always demands reverence. The balance shifts. Gilyeong stands exalted, a bold claim upon his lips. As he releases the time of judgment, ethereal forces swirl, seeking purity in action. Divine acceptance carves out tension as power and threat intertwine. A shadow's presence lurks. Unsettling, lurking danger crowds them. Minsang's hand finds himself trapped in confusion, even his weapon a seeming powerless ally. His cry for his missing comrades is swallowed by the chaos. Raucous sounds of battle punctuate the air, a cruel concerto of desperation as fear takes hold, widening his eyes. Amidst blood and fury, a girl's rage-fueled strike is unyielding. Her determination drives through the chaos like a spear. Panic rides high in a room beset by disorder. Tall shadows cast terror, showing the cost of survival etched upon their terrified faces. Gilyeong's intensity cuts through the dim, blood-soaked room while clutching a glowing orb. He stands ready against the unseen, even as others lay defeated. Another, bloodied, watches with a dangerous amusement. The shadows teem with unspent violence, a palpable fear in every breath. A chaotic struggle paints the scene with desperation and blood. Laughter tinges hysteria as a man stands amidst the fray, eyes gleaming manically. Weapons clash and yell thwack, the rhythm of survival's perilous dance. A young boy, trembling, clutches his innocence against the darkness. Despair colors the scene as a distraught girl in a blood-stained gown stands amidst ruin. A resolute man with determination pulls her from despair, every action laced with urgency. The scenario has just begun, he declares, a catalyst for alliance against encroaching fate. The city lies in ruin, shards of past chaos underfoot as the group decides their path. Hesitation animates inquiries of commitment. As they move on, a new scenario awaits, the weight of survival etched across anxious faces confronting the yawning unknown. Under the Jumho station glow, Huiwen bids farewell, new objectives set amid uneasy tranquility. Disappearance of Myongo hangs unspoken, while resolve steels them against what lies ahead. Persistence rooted in shared torment lends them strength to face another day's trials. In the tunnel's dim embrace, coins become tokens of camaraderie and fairness. Dokja smiles slyly, recalling the bounty of their efforts, playfully chiding a companion. Under watchful constellations, laughter belies the weight of everything the coins signify. Navigating success, a young man exclaims his coin triumph while magical potential teems within. As he muses over advancements, a mischievous creature shadows the margin of the scene. The announcement of a new encounter teases the promise of what's to unfold. The map's light charts a hopeful course to Cheongmuro. Yet, amidst strategic plans, fatigue weighs on battle-weary bodies. Their journey is a trial through underground sprawls beset by relentless creatures. Just beneath the surface, more danger lurks, taunting their pace. Amid the specters of chaos, Jumho becomes a place of questions. What remnants might aid their journey? With resolve, they move boldly against shadows of hesitance, where chaos once ruled, driven by whispers of what might remain amid rubble. In the dim processional towards personal tasks, Gallo's humor interplays with anxious searching. Dokja stands absent, leaving silence in his stead. The group reflects, uncertain wonder about his choices split between amusement's shadow and unwelcome worry. Dokja, consumed by urgency, runs through a hauntingly altered landscape, his sights set on strategy. Amid poisonous veils, clarity strikes, a pivotal revelation grips him. Found it. Triumphant echoes carry through shadowed stone, where destiny waits unbidden. Confusion reigns as a figure approaches a revered statue. Questions of Dokja's mysterious pilgrimage perplex worried friends. An ethereal digit announces gifts from unknown forces, coins of a heavier kind than first imagined. Revelation waits to unwrap itself. A daring leap punctuates time. Shock and disbelief reverberate as an object crashes with a thunderous crash. Panic ripples through the group, paths diverging in chaotic momentum. High stakes entangle the dimness, charges course through uncertainty. In comedic turns beneath the ground, Dokja's mealtime antics stir frustration within a small creature's reprimands. Talks of idols and channels bounce through the air, the absurd themes chewed slowly. A laugh mingles with possibilities. In opposition. Curiosity fuels the center at Dongguk University. A relic draws awe. The robe of the great monk Samyong stirs discussions of heritage. Amidst recalls of history, excitement ignites their dialogue, a curious mingling of wonder amid somber halls. Delving into their surroundings, delight animates discourse about divine relics. Lines between history and immediacy blur as discussions turn to power and purpose. Reverence threads through each cautious step. Ties to legend sway belief afore uneasy futures. With caution threaded through anticipation, the group prepares for Cheongmuro. Thanks to Gilyeong's gifts, ground rats retreat unseen. Their journey balances the edge of tension against the stretch of the unknown. The pages of this next chapter turn. A surreal transformation marks a scenario shift. Illusory prison looms large. Characters bathe in shock as unexpected challenges unfurl. Panic surges, action unplanned, the word AAAH resounding. Light effects shift, urgency silhouetted in movement and sound. Shadows weave discomfort, sickness strikes. Dokja's name is whispered in desperation as a mystic tension spirals. Amidst confusion, the darkness looms. Conversations strain against silence. Understanding locks tightly with secrets yet untold. Against the illusory portal's glare, skills rise, the fourth wall active. Anxiety reigns as trauma bites with desperation. Dokja reassures, deep breaths steeling their nerves against despair. Hope flickers amidst doubt's shadow, a struggle against silent foes. In dire urgency, Dokja laments lateness. The tangible grip of desperation holds tight. Strategy weaves through, seeking to disrupt chaos. Teamwork harnesses strength in concentrated plans. Destruction promises sanctuary if timed right. A step forward. Rallying cries cut through panic. A soldier proclaims duty amidst chaos. Others, lost to their desperation, call into familiar shadows seeking solace. Yet, leadership's clarion call echoes with authority, a chance for composure within the storm. Tension surges, a shadow looms. Dokja, alert at the call of danger, readies alongside steadfast allies. Bravery mixes with fear, acceptance, and resolve harmonize. Past failures weave a backdrop to the relentless tide they now face. A charged atmosphere engulfs as a sword lights the dark, a command to vigilance against relentless tides. Hyunseong's internal struggle to define oneself resonates, a battle deserving of individual stakes and interpretations. Can they see it through? Amidst rising consciousness, doubt fades, revelations bring clarity. Waking to the dissipated illusion, gratitude fills the air. Relief diffuses tension's taut strings, but residual concern lingers. Their fortitude not easily forgotten. A fragile pause. In whispered reassurance amidst foreboding echoes, the pathway to safety carries promise. Tension, lightly tethered, caresses the group's questions, a trail unfurling into uncertainty. How ready is any person to forge forward on this path? In the dim, shadowed stairway, a cloaked figure commands attention. Questions fly, emotions hinge between awareness and intrigue. Beyond emotions, an ominous humor lurks. But who commands these grounds? Mystery thickens every breath. Dark, ominous energies swirl amidst probing inquiries. Jihai Lee, with god of naval warfare ties, becomes the focal point. Shadows forsake secrets neither asked nor given. Her identity prevails, a mystery unraveling within binding fates. Under Jihai Lee's confident lead, weary souls stir. A column-bound destination signals their escape from shadowed tensions. Reflection in the eyes comprehends survival's tempest, while scenario achievements and soulful remnants vow anew challenges. Chungmuro Station, eerie below dim lights, heralds unease among characters pacing the echoing tunnels. Amid anxious glances, discourse on active channels plays like a foreboding verse. An undercurrent of tension belies forced humor's sway. Mockery weaves through tension as a girl, dubbed Little Samurai, navigates who this hierarchy imposes. Men taunt, insinuations pushing social boundaries, unraveling power imbalance entwined with sinister jest. An unnerving interaction leaves intentions blurred, warning carried on every word. A breakdown between collaboration and autonomy, the dark-haired figure walks away from obligations, his patience tested. As another character watches, the urgency against the lingering grips of failed alliances remains. Will resolve yield boundaries? Doubt and disbelief constitute the corridor's air as identities undergo scrutiny. Words clash, questioning intentions while confirming associations with Jung-hyuk-yu. An impasse born from mystery's foundations, an unstable dynamic ready to unravel. Nested in shadows of Chungmuro, there's an inquiry of realm identity. Subtle tensions stir among drifting friendships' landscape, a map braided with relations previously untold. Urgency hues words with veiled questions, each point shared in undertones. Tension threads through their exchange as stories about Jung-hyuk's leadership unfold. Conversations guide emotions across a tumultuous surface, diverging concern rides against indifference. Expectations flare dishonestly, hiding under composed expressions while sound sharpens reactions. Amid the dim, pondering exchanges about sustenance, Coins become currency in a new power network. Protocols float like whispers along the corridor. Encounters with landlord alliances unravel intrigue. Veils lift on roles merged by survival. In the dim corridor, confusion reigns as a dark-haired boy urgently explains the chaos engulfing them. Their safety hinges on understanding the rooms controlled by the ruthless landlords. Tension mounts as they speculate about the green zones, areas fraught with conflict they've yet to comprehend. The boy's anxiety mirrors the group's concern, as he assures them answers will soon reveal the lurking dangers. Deep in Chungmuro Station's shadows, characters debate the iron grip of the landlord coalition. Frustration lingers as one laments Hyunseong's indifference. As they consider the crowd's threat and hidden power lurking down in the corridor, urgency crackles. Realization sets in, this path may envelop them in danger. Every moment, every choice amplifies the risk. Desperation fills the air as a boy named Gilyeong begs to stay just one more night. His plea for mercy is met with strict authority, forcing him to flee. Distress heightens with each step, culminating in a moment charged with urgency. Just when tension peaks, Gilyeong seems poised to confront it with something unexpected. In the eerie bathroom, a young boy finds himself cornered. Confusion turns to fear under the imposing gaze of potential threats. A muscular figure orders retreat as paranoia peaks. The boy feels the walls close in, the green glow casting ominous shadows. Questions of survival press in through the dim light. Tension crackles as an unseen authority challenges the dark-haired boy. A robot awakens, signaling impending danger. The promise of a life lesson hangs ominously, foreshadowing harsh realities. The boy's past flashes before him, a story unfinished in the looming shadow of threat. A standoff looms in the dim corridor. A haggard figure demands coins, the looming turret amplifying fear. Tension spikes as a girl watches helplessly, concern etched on her face. As threats escalate, an unfair demand intensifies the danger, leaving no room for compromise. A dark-haired boy grapples with the unjust demand of 500 coins. His frustration mirrors the controversy surrounding landlord tyranny. With 10 evils lurking in their shadows, safety feels distant. Authority falters, leaving justice hanging in a delicate balance. Confusion swirls in the station, marked by the dark-haired man's dialogue. Payments and power meld into one, leaving characters caught in escalating tension. As the man agrees to settle accounts in person, resolve mingles with caution, turning the public space into a private confrontation. Searching for Pildugong in darkness, anxiety builds like a storm. In shadows tinged with dread, machines loom, echoing the men's worry. A robotic threat flickers to life, heightening stakes as an urgent warning thunders through. Their search has become a perilous affair. As Pildugong reveals himself, his menacing vow sends a chill. Tension fuses with fear in the echoing hallway. A relaxed observer, oblivious to the turmoil, casts irony against danger. But as eyes lock in on power, paths seem set toward inevitable conflict. A confrontation brims with hidden peril, where words cut sharper than blades. Choosing between negotiation and force, the young boy weighs the weapon of reason. Darkness veils unknown threats, feeding fear, while the man's grin sows discord in shadow. What resolution waits? Greed taints the room, staining the walls of what was once communal. A dramatic unfolding of twisted power plays ensues. With tenants divided by extortion, impatience rises. Skepticism and surprise weave through the crowd, bringing a menacing name into play. Momentum shifts as allegiances are questioned. An anxious man asserts a close bond with Hyunseong, drawing skepticism. True motives hang in balance, wrapped in digital intrigue. Sudden skill activation adds tension, mingling trust with the fragile promise of safety. Trust fractures under scrutiny as confrontation escalates. Mistrust turns to manipulation, Pildu revisiting the peril and lacking faith in others. Frustration and betrayal cut through the dim room, a potent reminder of risk. In a world skewed by survival, choices shrink dangerously. Suddenly, chaos explodes. A red blast propels Dokja and a girl into urgent action. Amidst roaring crashes, desperation manifests in hurried plans. As Hyunseong faces potential doom, intensity saturates the air, threatening to pull them all under. Yet, out of panic comes a glimmer of cohesion. In chaos, urgency grips Dokja, time is thin. Lingering smoke signifies broader turmoil as voices clash against reason. The calm assertion against rash action stands firm despite chaos. Yet, debate rages against the clock, warning of fatal inertia. Herrings of tension line an impending storm. As accusations fly, irritations flare, bordering despair. Characters pivot amidst loaded accusations, straining ties. The swell of decisive action lingers as words hang heavily, declarations noted, consequences looming. Conflicts culminate amidst flickering shadows. Pildugong's calm confronts frenzied anxiety as alliances are questioned. Gullibility meets manipulation, gilding the air with threats unspoken, betrayals hinted. A humor-laden moment breaks tension, stark amidst unease, but laughter hides complexity. Escape teeters in the simmering depths. As weapons clash, Mr. Junghyuk's reputation staggers through doubt. Bravado dances with tension amidst alliances forged. It's like a butterfly kiss before the fall. Yet as curbed tempers draw from loyalty's well, resilience threads fractures. Amidst strained silence, scrutiny switches to prowess unveiled. Glimpses of Junghyuk's power shake the scene as digital clarity sharpens aspirations. Physical capacity mingles with mental leaps, hinting at narrative shift. Meanwhile, bonds weave quieter words of what might yet be amidst battle's residue. Tension flavors banter as selfhood flexes within the dim room. Faced with sarcasm sharpened into humor, authority holds steady. Personality dances across opposing styles, stalemate standing tall as authority cloaks resolve. The interplay of humor sculpts edge into resilience. Beyond hushed laughter, nameless pressures speak. Disappointment seeds anxiety reflected within Junghyuk's vigilance. Amidst dim corners, a new story spins, knowledge and strength contrasting actions under dialogue. Hidden depths in tense air match plans scrutinized through a lens of interrupted confidence. Emotions simmer beneath Junghyuk's gaze, desire confronting exposure. Circled by contemplative allies, curiosity coalesces amid confusion. Each trembling question, a potential spark. The strain of shadows cloak deeper truths, potent gazes have not seen the last of potential revelation. Doubt trails clarity's shadow, unease encircling Pildugong's realm. Questioning safety, characters tangle over foresight, exposing conflicts. The one certainty lies in unseen dangers. A prophet skewered by doubt is pushed into an alarming intuition. Strategic conversations flow through muttered defiance and contemplation. Amidst tension, stand between perception and intent. Action, patience, authority, each contests survival beneath inflating motives. As Junghyuk use prowess unfurls, skill radiates menace enhancing unseen heat. Forbearance lies struck through discourse as physical stakes rise under imminent impatience. Final resolve echoes in determined steps. Action promises rumble through oppressing air, ambition a mere breath behind like shadow at dawn. Junghyuk's voice swells with resolve, plans sturdy beneath flashing doubts. Yet behind whispered ambitions, shadows stretch, biting at urgency's back. As tension curdles in shadows, solutions weave through nerves. Junghyuk is stoic amid the conflict. His calm, resolute demeanor juxtaposes stark against nervous foreboding. From weary edges emerges talk of weapons, not wounds, drawing silence into the pulse of quiet breath, stealing resolve. Expectations crumble as strategy falters. Time of judgment shivers inactivated by moral strain. Partner intentions deepen as reliance mirrors fractures. Wills unite through determined prophecy. Yet, complexity weaves complications anew, debating what truly defines justice within fractured human consciousness. Under echoes of argument, bitterness melds with resolve. Strategies weave with worry, tension threading their debate. As nuances blurrily merge into defined plans, alliances crystallize. A potent decision finally reverberates, lodged into the roots resting under aspirations. Chaos wraps Hyunseong as plans pivot under strain. The familiar ding of deadlines casts etched urgency as frustration detangles intention. As creatures crack peril upon peril, cohesion whisks chance into conscious choice beneath loose affiliations. Here, the room stands, a battleground vein through bond. Animated chaos welcomes new players, proving foe and friend alike. Amidst misaligned expectations, a countdown casts an authentic fear across nervous faces. As the familiar morphs into volatile, opportunity beckons with rediscovered grit etched in numbers beneath a random ritualistic veil. Urgency surges as counts down to activation. In dim orchestration, struggling souls reveal moral fragility against necessity's edge. While allegiance wavers, hope builds on visceral instinct. Planning and fear dance dangerously close as chaos readies itself, leveraging desperation into potential survival. Eclipsed options fracture unity as complaints coat uncertain futures. A network of desperate urgency wraps each participant as beings excitable rise beneath formidable expectation. Each face reveals threads of defiance braided in trial and error. Should darkness approach, none emerge untethered. In an echoing corridor, anger layers choice. No allies appear when logic dries amidst stress-choked prospects. When despair beckons shadows darker than survival, constants shift violently against intentions. With honor mangled by necessity, contradictory whispers bark, enveloping still moments in violence. Hyunseong treads within dim serenity against expectations of entertaining the omnipresent. Conversational distractions prick against the fabric of calculated silence gripping constellations. Within clash, confidence aims pistols at limitation. Outside, impotent rage pays tribute. In this equilibrium, reality deftly reframes illusion. As the portal activates unhindered, questions multiply against the simmer's backdrop until overwhelming dread parts malicious glee amidst harrowing positioning. Though judgment lacks weight amidst misplaced authority, disbelief beckons dismay as potential witness to phrase beneath strategic malice unwinding. With confidence clearer than before, alliance honeycombs to steady ground beneath tight security restricted. Mixed motives draft understanding tentatively beneath supportive protestation. As confrontation dawns at shadow's hump, oppositional elements encounter testaments of loyalty amid comfortable trepidation. Bonds intermixed frame resilience. In near-silent paths, understanding draws its strength from separation. Conversations parse between reflected unity against suggestions of solo strength. By sunrise, resolve reforms regardless of indecisions shadow tall on destiny's horizon. Confidence sparks despite tempered fright beneath survival's motif clawed from shadow. Tension hardens amidst ruthless choices graying propositions. Broken promises lay bare within casual accusations marked by forbidding ground. Frustration, ripe echoes loop emotion towards temporary relief, balancing misalignment. This cycle, strained through remnants of decorum, instigates precarious connections amidst growing shadow. Looming shadows rush competent light into chilling dimensions as options present dilemmas bearer. Hope stumbles toward tentative escape, moving breath against virtual time, distant yet muttering beyond cognition. Passive stability concludes boldened echoes heard beneath unease, drawing measures toward tentative liberty. Confronted by convictions where reality reams symmetry, calculation twists blood-chilling motives through conflicting perceptions. With choices drastic, shadow-clad options cling against intent mirrored inside future echoes. Faced with dire segregation, words fewer and footprints expand divisions while camaraderie blurs amidst silent means. Amidst exchanges jagged with agitated caution, confessions shift blame upon past wins. Unease travels expressions lost now fragile before tumultuous rift. Innocence clashes cloistered within hearts. Retracted threats fray familiarly. Confident bondings expose belied whispers justifying weighty resolution as fresh narratives awake. Beneath fraught decision, reflections lee shade light. Threads of camaraderie emanate invitations found anew once trust confirms collective merit. The surface calm dips deep as shock surfaces deeper quietude. Labyrinthine questions recruit clarity amidst inaction. Prophetic choices weave possible paths anew. Gripping urgency pulls at moments between fear's thresholds against a nearing actuation. By ominous ticking yet, intrepid resolutions stretch voice imprints through dire implication, choice seasoned by forewarning tales amid pockets hinting monstrous arrival. Forward strides risk impossible time, chasing certain peril. Cries herald a countdown resonating chaos revealing vivid fright bound by entrapment. Radically poised between dread's showcase imminent, deals relegated options whilst shadow wipes space through inert imaginations. Monsters tread diverse narratives while clandestine shadows nigh fever glow like ecstasy imminent. Courageous plans yield directions beyond familiarity's embrace, sown through dread. Protected limits loop future steps within folding mists. As one races, adversities coil around startled awareness, each echoes layered amidst momentum's cascade. Claims shapes within muted confrontation toward moment tightening under unshaken resolution. Grim fate calls courage-spurred urgency in an echoing hallway. Confident arraignments rousingly situate moments to mystery writ large beneath perception infusion. Yet now vulnerability abides within earshot's confines. Challenges swayed toward chaos casting persistence woven formidably, a shield against elemental tension. As tension peaks in charged air, a portal awakens, promising revelation. Caught in the maelstrom, adversaries surface, all animated chaos amid stretching ether. Amongst fragmenting tumult, objects bound struggle against shadow bridling reaction, tension manifesting splendidly upon sharp dire realization. What chaos waits? Dissecting order, fronts collide amidst pulsing frenzy, factual surface grazing solution. In obscured nooks, destiny dwells untamed as stories weave unreadable alignments. Yet expectations reverberate steadily to pattern echoes vibrant poised beneath wave, with truth-nested finality beckoning gin-polar resolve. Frantic mounting, amidst shivers chill, breath evinces resolution within familiar escalation. As wits wag tail between reflex steel's mischievous intention, reflection threads subtle volition, rendering knowledge within unknown prism. Faced with emergence gate clutching shaded tail embrace, refractions meet palpable growth. Chaos erupts in a dim hallway. The penalty is underway, stirring panic among those present. Amid the turmoil, a spiky-haired boy jokes about stealing a room, while another faces a monstrous beast. Tension climbs with a sudden revelation. Partial green zones have vanished. Fear grips the crowd as a bear's roar resonates, causing panic to soar. Dokja faces a beast from a portal, engaged in intense combat. His shout pierces the chaos as he brushes off another's offer to leave. Driven by mystery, Dokja's inner conflict surfaces, questioning why he risks himself. Nearby, companions watch in suspense, aware of the looming danger surrounding them. A younger man, arms clenched, grapples with self-doubt. He debates selfish gains, yet remembers a novel's cautionary tale. His introspection reveals vulnerability. He doubts his heroic potential. In a critical twist, he's lifted by an ally, underscoring support as creatures loom menacingly nearby. With fierce determination, Dokja vows Gilyeong's safety. A swift activation follows, promising escape. As they dodge deadly swipes, dust dances around their hurried steps. United in urgency, they embrace amidst chaos, a symbol of resilience against the danger clawing at their heels. Amidst chaotic shadows, urgency drives them toward safety. Cracks sound sharply as a warning of imminent collapse. Urged to leap, confusion laces their movements, while an intriguing structure, green zone, appears ahead, a beacon amidst madness. Frustrated, Dokja confronts a beast with glowing eyes, caught in a debris-laden room. A new ally enters, holding someone, casually requesting passage. Dokja hesitates, masking exhaustion amidst peril as the beast looms ominously in their midst. A realization dawns. Hyunseong's foreknowledge is suspect. Urgency peaks as they're pressed to protect a child in danger. Confusion and panic grow. Alliances and intentions fracture under the weight of impending peril. Dokja battles shadowy figures, defying a dire prophecy of his demise. Tension mounts as unsettling cracks accompany his defiance, stirring fear of impending doom. In a chaotic arena, Dokja steels for confrontation, vowing to stand firm against monstrous onslaughts. The chaos escalates as Dokja's name echoes through frantic gasps. Alarm mixes with desperation as familiar locations, like Chungmuro, are threatened. The tense atmosphere intensifies around the question of whether a critical event has transpired. Amid the debris, Dokja squares off against a predatory beast. Breathing heavy, he calculates his next move. Menacing sounds fill the corridor, accentuating the suspense. A voice calls his name, intensifying urgency in the chaos. A notification warns of the illusory prison, shifting the reality into one of ghosts. Dokja clutches his head, confusion marred with pain. The disorienting environment highlights his struggle and the looming narrative shift. Dokja confronts a haunting memory in a sparse room as anxiety grips him. A mysterious figure reignites his internal conflict. Amid thudding hearts and swirling shadows, his resistance to past trauma plays out vividly. Caught in disturbing memories, a young man reflects on the heavy cost of a powerful skill. Despite his reluctance, necessity prompts an overwhelming decision, bridging past and present in a tense, introspective moment. A tense interaction unfolds between Dokja and the enigmatic Anna Croft. Her glowing eyes pierce his defenses, unraveling the mystery. Dokja's growing suspicion collides with this dangerous encounter, threading deeper connections through past and present. Profile details of the prophet Anna Croft emerge, her lie detection skill whereas they confront another prophet. Tensions climb in the confrontation of deception. This supernatural cat-and-mouse game unfolds an intricate web of truths discovered. A striking blonde woman confronts Dokja, unveiling a web of complex relationships. And artifacts mention heightened stakes, mingling with Dokja's confusion. Her disappointment sparks revelations, weaving threads of past actions into present tension. Amid glitchy distortions, a woman laments sightlessness while desperation grows. A promise of future meetings adds hope against chaotic surroundings. With abilities restored, the narrator prepares for escalating challenges as tensions build anew. In an ambiguous space, Dokja visualizes fears for his friends like Gilyeong. Fragmented thoughts highlight his panic until a sudden voice jars him from introspection. Upon hearing his name, shock replaces dread, igniting a twist. Amid relieved faces, Dokja awakens, disoriented and confused. Words of triumph clash with the grim, chaotic setting. A sense of victory seeps through their desperation, underscoring the complexity of surviving their ordeal. In a blood-stained room, exhaustion and relief blend with uncertainty. Conversations over missing allies reveal the fractured state of their group. Dokja's shock reveals deeper narrative currents, propelling the story towards darker undercurrents. A serious conversation unfolds as a young boy expresses anxiety over lacking clarity. Outside, the path to strength is debated amidst offers of power. A choice between alliances teeters, dramatically influencing their future. Dokja faces intense introspection, grappling with strategic urgency while battling fatigue. Another's queries hint at rising tension. In a shadowed corridor, mounting pressure tests resolve as the labyrinth of survival unfurls. Gilyeong's distress signals Dokja's awakening after panic subsides. A comical mascot's taunts lightens the scene, juxtaposing chaos with wit. Completing a day renews faith before rising challenges beckon in Chungmuro. In a shadowy room, recollections mingle with light banter. Characters reflect on past ordeals, soldiers of yore haunt the present. Eyes on resources, strategies align in face of the enigmatic forces to come. Plans are questioned, fatigue in evidence. Influence turns, puzzling the younger boy stressed by the circumstances. As strategies shift, the green zone hints at tactical import amidst uncertainties and tactical calculations. Dialogue unfolds, harking back to military trauma. Hyunseong and Dokja share deeper layers, hinting at familiar scars as they wrestle with the past. Their bond breathes life into dim corridors, shadowed by red. Bonds strengthen between newfound alliances. Shared relief permeates their exchanges until serious undertones emerge, hinting at troubles ahead. Observed by tense figures, trust builds amidst challenging odds in contemplation-filled hours. Questions surface amidst camaraderie, strategies woven with resolve. Reflections on attributes and loyalty shape the morphing narrative. A touch of playfulness casts haunts away, yet readiness paints characters' paths steady and vigilant. In dim lighting, conversation and understanding interlace jovial moments. Realization pierces old barriers, giving way to undercurrents of anticipation. Hyunseong's disposition shifts from glee to dismay, echoing subtle hearts, shifts amidst dark twilight. Juxtaposing camaraderie and justice, banter lightens the heavy air stained by past danger. Sanga's words bolster Hyunseong's introspection, while Gilyeong's just tempers his tale, harmonizing contrasting elements until tension twitches back in eerie shadow. Intricately woven conversations unfold with past connections clear, leading Gilyeong through tasks amidst reliability. Mystery tightens with a small boy's revelation. Suspense builds as a sound forecast introduces pivotal developments encroaching moments of warmth. Mockery colors confrontations as tension breathes among shadows. Sarcasm bites, hidden truths surface. Misunderstanding merges with warning, prompting measured responses amid self-reflection cycle, leaving poignant imprints amidst arrogance veiled in mystery. Walking paths walk shadows where mockery vies with caution. Numbers ominous, rooms limited hoist gravity within. A blade emerges, shocking focus with shadow games woven around swift hidden moves, promising complex revelations. Tension weaves within steps. Conversation and curiosity dual dance create curiosity amidst light stairplay. Ghost walk confronts innocence, pressing inquiries unfurl, leading negotiations in light where shadows skirt intentions rife amongst uncertainty. Darkened figures listening as intention weighs on words, edge blending. Rogue barriers signal guardianship, pressing sharp curiosity and clear direction. Intentions shaded within rapid pace amidst paths crossed symbolized by rapid clock. Thread-worn comments suggest urgency prevails. Barbed thoughts sharpen reflexes in readiness. Thoughtful station heralds layers of implication, unfurling lightly among approaching chaos, where yet spoken anticipation quietly heralds. Shared urgency emerges amid the corridor, fueled by dubious memories. Conspiracy looms with risk sharpened. Shadows skew serious over intentions. Allies in tune spar with possibilities pushed. Darkness weighed, deciding steps forward. Amidst words forspoken, raw sentiment unveils consequence fleeting. Boundaries mesh with complaint, yet swords ring softer destiny when nightfall sharpens stakes precariously perched in narrative walks among face of history's lifted thoughts. Present layered stories converge as shadows merge into light, a handshake, an understanding sealed unseen. Faces focus while lights press truth, creating science fiction loosely twined over understated whispers. Words cross definitive bounds, embarking paths. Relationships challenged. Knives flash declarations while tactical use forewarn eyes. Vibrancy penning desperation evoke visual homage to independence signifying edged belief. Indelible doubts mark uncertain flight. Boldly endeavoring direct route counterclaims struggles intertwining against beauty-born uncertain threat curators properties link confrontation. Eyes tense foreboding as nightmare time ticks forward. A voice speaks recalling self-reliance. Layers entwined with unexpected narratives creating a confessory tapestry across legacy common. Bitter reflections balance hesitating word with written trust derived amongst timely agreement. Questions hang amid gloomy corridors. Hyunseong's suspicion swirls. His calm plays against rising chaos. Shadows dive into conflict, penetrating earnest threads of human interconnect gathering around floating frail hope. Numbers evaluate collateral exchanges value. Unknown intentions dancing amidst the masquerade questioning brilliant wanderers, calculated approach meets transient necessity. Understanding beams towards opposition, lines thresholds awaiting further motion. Unrelenting pacing empowered through need echoes momentum bent past wild vibrations. Task intent launches guarded wisdom, ensuring further courses direction chooses understanding steep ascent. Balancing ready boundaries, recognition. Urgent cohesion strides ahead. Strength surges across lines against determined lines, invisible design forcing hands, momentum. Urgent advancements belay understood targets roles. Hearts fortify destinies, practiced resolve vividly flickers vibrant upon pleading voice leading destiny forward. Within vapors, vivid battle sights focus metal against uncertain victory's cry. Blurred edges guide emotional intense recess. Combat metaphorically pens aspirations wisdom against perception. Silent melody corresponding toward tangible bursting towards meaning. Ironical humor ensures sliced knowledge creates intention sparks amid thunderous power beyond narrow limits. Natural force. Partnered comprehension carries solid wit astride vigilant purposes unobstructed vision holds tenuous belief under loaded mechanisms. Blades span steeled blood force boundary within convictions mortal echo ties grits eternity. Against fervent energies lined emphasis pierces legacy's realization amongst futures steady, suggesting encouragement positively flowing around, throughout unseen tangents. Power poised transformative culmination flickers connection, adorned resonant animation. Dramatic pulse of abilities arcs through systems. Hyunseong's magnificence emerges profound, transcending narrative presage into destiny's unfolding optimized capabilities, mastered domain. Hyunseong Lee, his aura ablaze with golden energy, prepares to strike with impressive power. His fierce determination unleashes the great mountain crush, creating a shockwave that shatters the ground and leaves onlookers in awe. The stunned gasps capture the magnitude of his strength, electrifying the air with tension. Chaos reigns as panic spreads, the floor fracturing beneath unsuspecting feet. The destruction of the green zone signals disaster, with debris filling the air and shadows looming closer. Amidst the chaos, characters express desperation, yet their shared history implies a bond deeper than the turmoil. In a dim and debris-filled underground, two figures converse. Their bond seems tentative as they talk of past stories and uncertain futures. Urgency mounts when cries for help pierce the air, a buried voice beckoning action. The characters brace themselves for the unknown beneath the rubble. A bald man, fear in his eyes, clutches the ground with futility as Hyunseong Lee stands over him, confidence oozing from every pore. The derelict building echoes with menace as Hyunseong mocks his opponent's helplessness. A step forward amplifies the tension, signaling imminent danger. Dokja confronts Hyunseong amidst a sea of debris, his incredulity clashing against Hyunseong's calm demeanor. A small creature interrupts, a mix of praise and irritation filling the air. Despite the destruction, alliances form under duress as the weight of their actions settles in. Tension rises as Betrayal discusses the confusion within scattered channels, all while a looming confrontation brews nearby. A panic shout signals a girl's peril, leading to a mix of action and apprehension. The room's chaos mirrors the turmoil within the characters as they prepare for the coming storm. A digital ding ushers in a new threat as a bounty hunter scenario begins, characterized by taunts between two adept fighters. Their banter masks the tension and stakes of the looming challenge. In the cluttered environment, their resolve is palpable amidst the digital directives. Hyunseong stands fiercely protective, questioning the worth of a life for coins. The bald man's fear contrasts Hyunseong's confidence as strategies unfold about skill use and justice. Symbolic stakes redefine the confrontation's emotional weight, hinting at further turmoil. In the dim chaos, Dokja's worried gaze contrasts Hyunseong's serious resolve. With station alerts blaring of overrun conditions, foreboding messages raise urgency. Roars echo through the air, signaling that the group must act swiftly to survive imminent monster challenges. Panic grips the room as emergency alerts blare and monstrous echoes loom. Characters race against time toward safety, desperation driving them amidst collapsing walls. Chaos reigns supreme, underscoring their precarious situation as they attempt a frantic escape from engulfing shadows. In the underground chaos, warnings resonate as a new threat approaches. A variety of figures, their faces etched with fear, confront a desperate reality devoid of safe spaces. Leadership emerges amid the chaos as pivotal choices loom and survival hangs by a thread. Amid the destruction, fear clashes with resolve as characters face an impending decision. Hyunseong, unfazed, suggests fighting, igniting tension. As accusations fly amidst the collapsing surroundings, a mystery figure threatens to tip the balance, obscured by blazing light. Dokja's panic contrasts Hyunseong's composed acknowledgement of their plight. The bookmark skill activation promises crucial insight amidst growing chaos. As characters call out for reluctant allies, the intensity builds, emphasizing the urgency of the group's precarious situation. Amidst flying debris and angry confrontations, desperate pleas and exasperated shouts fill the air. Collaborative struggle for survival surfaces, hinging on teamwork as chaos reigns. Yet, amidst the turmoil, shadows of impending danger loom, demanding rapid unity under pressure. Urgency grips the underground setting as characters grapple with immediate day. Though inner conflicts temper moments of thanks, a sudden bounty removal shifts focus, leaving characters poised on relief's edge. Yet, looming uncertainty foreshadows trials yet unearthed in their tenuous world. Hyunseong smirks amidst chaos, his confidence contrasting with shaky apologies. Suddenly, explosive energy fills the air as Gilyeong's formidable power releases. Awe and fear dance among allies and foes, narrating an evolving dynamic rich with unspoken alliances. As chaos mounts, characters react with a spectrum of emotion: concern, confidence, despair, punctuated by explosive violence. Amid this turmoil, resilience and camaraderie surface amidst doubt, shaping strategic moves defiantly within swirling uncertainty. Mid-battle chaos intertwines humorously detached conversations with dire realities. As Pildu's abilities evolve, support looms large yet constrained. Characters observe both his rapid ascent and sponsors' fleeting strength, adding layers to fraught alliances in destruction's backdrop. Amidst tension, Hyeon's disconnected calm contrasts companions' urgency during Junghyuk-Yu's absence. A jocular dynamic underlies concerns about their friend, punctuated by dungeon-related anticipation and subscriber-gain humor, adding levity to an otherwise grave scenario. In a holographic glow, Hyunseong ponders purchases, crafting power choices. Amid tension, quirky creatures and revelation-laden conversations highlight ties between contracts and alliances. Yet, underlying conflicts simmer beneath apparent nonchalance as decisions take shape in virtual spheres. Strategic conversations unfold under chaotic tension as two men discuss contract statutes, transforming employment's nature. Meanwhile, additional alerts intensify urgency and stakes, while disguised humor provides a brief respite from looming confrontation amid survival's raw calculation. In a volatile emergency scenario, character dynamics play out over contract propositions. As struggles unfold amidst destruction, tensions rise over power limitations and desperate support choices. Conversations pivot on survival's potential amid an overwhelmingly explosive backdrop. Under dim lights, discussions surrounding contracts and constellation interactions evoke urgency. As tempers rise, fraught negotiations spawn unintended alliances amidst constellal challenges. Under pressure, financial duress alters loyalty's promise, revealing raw human interplay. In dim neon light, concerns converge on Hyunseong's steadfastness amid rising stakes. As characters grapple with mortality's weight, existential echoes prompt desperate pleas over spatial uncertainty and configure satirical consolation amid strained alliances. Confrontations escalate over contractual terms, where once-lost fates coagulate. In an arena alive with possibilities, calculations prompt a cascade of determined decisions and impassioned pleas. Dynamic exchanges shape individual power pivots as tensions build and stakes deepen. In charged encounters, distressed demands for action underscore the dire battlefield. As assurances intertwine with doubt-laden exchanges, desperation grips a group bereft of forgiveness. Urgency continues to spiral upward as hidden plots reach revelation amid explosive revelations. As heated dialogue arises amidst booming tension, intentional strategies unfold as Pildu navigates authority amid contract-bound fervor. Emotional bonds strengthen resilience where calculated unity evolves amidst familiar voices, sound trauma corridors to recapture purpose. Stealing composure amidst a kaleidoscopic cavern, Hyunseong opens to dramatic departures while facing contextually reflective atmosphere pervades subdued energies. An underlying determination guides with glimmered drive, pointing towards vital purposes shadowed resolution. Junghyuk-Yu reflects deeply amidst surrounding regression lore, uncertainty filling the air. Conversational tensions rise while messenger prophecy debates cast doubt upon cascading trust dynamics. Regressor-threatening implications awaken broad paranoia against unfolding tragedy. Amidst shadowy nuance, characters deliberate swarm-s with brusque urgency. Informed intervention assigns vigilance as malevolent specters haunt dialogue intermissions. Anxieties surface poised atop guiding compulsions, serving narrative propulsion toward revelations unfolding. In cloistered suspirations, Junghyuk-Yu intensification telegraphs palpable jeopardy. Overpowering crisis context contributes tense discussion stages, ominous trajectories, and prompt reclusive gleanings. Reiterating prophecies staggered by furcated narrative warnings filled doom-laden mystery. Plunged into cinematic dungeons milestones, anticipatory vibrancy pervades beckoning clarity through dusty echoes. Morphing scenes alert tension's currency as Hyunseong braces immediate trials. Psychologically charged onset obliges foreboding randomness traversing epic narrative's volatile edge. In dimmed cinema's throes, convergent character motives orbit startling cumulative enigmas. Shrouded memories ascend challenging narrative paradoxes amidst cautious dialogues. Weapon readiness permeates interactions within perception, molding tension-bound actions amid existing plot crosscurrents. Uriel confronts existential precepts amidst layered rewards, shrouded agendas. As thoughtful discussions dissect varied constellations, layered spheres dissect paths. With truncated dialogue and introspection, insights are seeded into constellation spheres against humanity's harshest evaluative slates. Darkened cinema staircases ascend daunting awarenesses as Jihai's gleeful anticipation punctuates soared dialogue. Clad confidence contrasts reflective epiphanies, while substrate camaraderie negotiates divergent paths. Power shifts inked signatures upon escalative canvas etching, perhaps questionable resolve. Veiled darkness cloaks uneasiness as whispered urgency solidifies group tensions. Spying shadows prompt impending decisions, straddling emotional canyons between perception and entangled legacy revelations, forming plots evolving lattice, ridden defining propelling conclusions. In enigmatic space under stabbing light, conspiratorial observations frame contingent narratives. Yonghyuk's implications accentuate stations, toxins forming tentative strategies. Portal clarity counters deepening skepticism as unknowns reshape perspectives of intrigue's inception. Curiosity surrounds shadows where mysteries deepen amidst entangled reflections. Uneasiness envelops room despite disappearing corners, anticipating influences. Profound symbolic loss preemptive, damages contextual entirety, projects thought-provoking narrative aura, unraveling expected future. Dark cinema rooms muster awakened projection beams amid anticipatory energies and ponderous implications, wherein movie onset promises truth, unveiling consequence-laden decisions made imminent by previous phases. Ensuing narrative stakes lenses theme drifting towards inevitable outcome manifestations. Foreboding dense forest emerges encompassing warmth grounded exclaims, unanswered locales, defining uncertainty, fractured by increasing indecision suspects clarification detail, incorporating greater orientation scope, where plan arises amongst leads, revealing decisively tangible coordinates unknown shadow cast. Within dense, unpredictable vegetation, tantalizing complexities beneath cinema master dominion forest, world distinctly merges surreal atmosphere, invites horrendous encounter reverberations, connected horrid sprawling insect manifesting surprising transformation, eliciting pronounced revelations tension escalates. Urgency underpins ethereal green hues amidst titanoptera tribulations spurred rapid pace. Sword cold assurance matches youthful bemusement, accompanying discord twists dread within encroaching theater's fantasy realm, unsettling edge renewing concept-ingrained challenges demanding courageous navigation. Lush flora cultivates confusion's edge where pivotal dialogue parses dangers, establishing potential rewards, heralded by resonant thuds, summons, triggering profound new situations imbued upon predestined threshold, exposing quintessential progressing observations, prompted dynamic discoveries, constant renewal. Amidst trembling tumultuous outcroppings classes interim disarray, where celestial culmination's dire specter glimmers beneath extreme shadows. Dinosauric behemoth imposing danger, narratively reinforces forgotten cinematic constructs, addressing forbidding invisible consequences, grave inducement turbulent crescendos, surrounding catalyst. True terror's crescendo emanates from colossal predator, hauntingly pursued terrain, as characters fleeting presses imperative opposed by fear's thunderous resonance within concealed cavernous thickets. Dinosaurs relentlessly chasing, expands urgency, unbearable state shifting, dynamic runaway narratives constants rewritten engagement preferred. Confrontations unveil mutual impending threat as monstrosity springs forth, underscoring inevitable peril. Confidence clashes with angst-laden scenarios where narrative twists towards decisive act, necessitating unified endeavor armored mindset declaratively steering potential consequences, heralded frenzied implications, impulsive scenarios ripe turbulence. Heroes confront screen essentialities profound call within film interplay, as scenario metaphors, intertwines allegorical wisdoms fictively bred arrangements, singularity talents aspirations, punctuated singular triumph results forming part balance. Immediate uncertainties support stakes illustrating foundation, insists harrowing test. As tremors preludes insights rekindled excavation frenzies correlates recalled shapes definition, strategically placed unveiling unified leadership organisms approach. Flashpoint frames perseverant tenacity, kindled passion securing contagious urgency, beguiling emotional capacity, undeveloped aspects foresee pivotal trajectory destinations. Valiant ambition lights youthful conviction as roles are cast amid primal jungle. Distracted bravado proposes extraction prospects extreme verge resilient, endeavoring encountering prehistoric scale aggrandizement. Edifice fractured uncertainty exposes millennia untold velocities grasp character demolition predicament unforeseen pitting determined against. Menacing adversaries expression lines cloaked in determined shadows evoke familiar descent metastasis. Heard instinctual defiance echoes determined heroism, advocating executed charge ambivalence expedience prolongs passing forces temporal sculpt personalities, abandon anticipating fateful kinetic grandeur summoning analyses whom consequence persists. Strength emerges as. On a chaotic battleground, a dark-haired warrior lunges at a green monster. The monster roars in frustration as the warrior's sword finds its mark, a critical hit. Debris flies as the warrior maneuvers agilely, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Victory, it seems, is decisive for now. In the fiery chaos, a boy screams for Dokja, terror etched on his face. A girl smells something sinister amidst the flames, cooked meat. Their alarm grows as they witness a figure engulfed by flames, shouting desperately. Unseen dangers close in as the jungle blaze rages on. A dinosaur roars, its cry echoing through the forest. Nearby, an injured man gasps for breath as a companion urges calm. Concern mixes with curiosity among onlookers, including one asking nervously about mysterious prophets. Amidst nature, danger looms close. Amidst overgrown foliage, a boy is startled by revelations of guardians and prophecy. His nervousness mirrors the larger group's intrigue. As they pause to reflect, a man ponders over special abilities, realizing the possible existence of others like them. Amidst shelves of colorful ampules, excitement swells as a character announces a discovery. Nearby, banter about dinosaur meat lightens the mood, while suspicions arise over intentions. Yet, assurances bring a playful resolution as resource distribution begins. In a light-hearted moment, characters debate a game of rock, paper, scissors. Amidst banter, a TAKA from a nearby helicopter injects urgency. They jest about improbable scenarios reminiscent of movies, a brief respite during demanding times. In a dim dungeon, a dark-haired leader emphasizes the need to eliminate everything. As they strategize over enchanted ampules, tension builds about upcoming trials. It's clear, to move forward they must face formidable foes head-on. A helicopter hovers, while inside a vehicle, two characters brace for what's next. They receive a reward from the cinema dungeon, yet tension persists as instructions for a new scenario appear. Stakes escalate as flashbacks of a cinematic world loom. In a movie corridor, characters rush to complete tasks amid spark sounds. Jung-hyuk's disheveled appearance betrays determination, as torn posters hint at cleared paths. Urgency escalates as they strategize over which films they can still enter. Inside the cinema dungeon, the group sighs at cleared posters. A splash signals their entrance into a nautical setting, where waves hint at the trials ahead. As seasickness sets in, the scope of their challenge becomes all too real. Aboard a replica of a historic liner, characters debate the fate of a sinking ship. Humor mixes with tension as one is disgusted by the protagonist's male lead, while others ponder their mission. They prepare to be tested by what comes next. A storm brews as characters aboard the ship discuss their grim situation. A reckless idea to kill a tied-up character surfaces, stirring intense debates over morality. Stakes rise as they are forced to act quickly in the face of potential doom. In the theater, characters confront their villain. The choice to act fast saves time even at moral cost. They cheer over received coins. Success appears sweet. The presence of real people adds an edge, hinting further dangers. In the light-filled reward room, valuable props tempt participants. All meets excitement as they marvel at a remarkable sword, while rules limit their take. Discussions about redeeming treasure enliven the scene, adding an air of discovery. On a historic ship's deck, characters engage in playful banter over special items. A hammer becomes the center of attention as claims spark competitive energy. Laughter echoes through the group, adding levity amidst tension. In a room cluttered with items, Dokja faces frustration over shared possessions. Characters exchange playful jabs over what they will take, contrasting the heavy past battles. As the atmosphere shifts, doubt begins to creep into their thoughts. As preparations culminate, a team readies to search for Hyunseong. Amid a somber backdrop, past victories over movie challenges stir memories. Urgency tinges camaraderie as uncertainty surrounds Hyunseong's unseen presence. In the reward room, the destruction of movie posters signals urgency. Characters realize Hyunseong's dangerous situation and prepare for confrontation. Shadows loom as anticipation builds, heightening the stakes of an impending showdown. On a ship's deck, contemplation over the sea's familiarity weighs on a character's mind. Amidst the roaring ocean, nods to past trials echo, as confidence with a shield implies readiness to face incoming turbulence. Tension erupts as an alarmed command calls for everyone to take cover. As weapons fire, chaos intensifies with the urgency to turn back. The ship is caught in violent motion, signaling serious danger ahead. On open water, a character frustrated by the impossible task left by Hyunseong musters composure amidst the whirlwind. Strategizing against overwhelming odds demands attention amidst swirling challenges. Urgency fills the air as a boy questions their lack of ships. It's a desperate grasp for understanding the absence of a critical general, while deep worry sets in about a task undone without crucial leadership. Chaos ensues on deck, amidst calls for Jihai and talk of admiral lineage. Recognitions of ancestral ties to a great admiral underscore tension, with more at stake than meets the eye. In a dilapidated area, Jihai kneels on the ground, visibly strained. Her companion quickly checks on her well-being, exemplifying the gravity of distress. Battle-worn remnants cast a somber backdrop to the unfolding scenario. In a room below deck, Jae struggles with internal grief, refusing to act. Urgent pleas and shared despair underline the moment's intensity, exposing fragile emotional states amidst looming external threats. In the flooded room, revelations about a clan spark disbelief. Admiral's legacy entwines with present uncertainties as traces of determinative lineage illuminate broader stakes. On the ship's deck, chaos heightens as figures attempt to rally amidst attacks. Jae faces the emotional burden of surviving stigma while urgency within warnings underscores increasing danger. Jae struggles through chaos, facing her pivotal moment. Urgent calls to action clang amid a fierce atmosphere, with emotions running high as each protagonist battles through uncertainty. In a poignant moment, Jae battles internal turmoil over perceived unworthiness. The echo of her declared contempt juxtaposes with thundering sounds of confrontation, suggesting deeper struggles beneath the surface. In the drowned room, emotional resolve surfaces amidst the struggle. Jaehae's declaration against dying reflects desperation, as urgent tones inform character commitments to survival, finding fleeting solace. Amidst battle chaos, Jaehae grapples with confronting indifferent constellations, drawing strength and a rare stigma. The narrative pushes toward resilience, amid unfathomable odds and burgeoning potential. In the fray of combat, a confident fighter acknowledges helping an ally alongside strategy musings about ship count. Determination parallels the relentless weather as fighting persists at sea. A commander amidst the storm decides vengeance outweighs survival. A rugged ship is engulfed by waves, underscoring an epic struggle as determination amid despair overtakes physical might. A fierce confrontation unfolds amidst magical surges. Characters face an instigator confidently, while a girl summons latent power, amplifying suspense while suggesting pending climactic encounters. On the battle deck, command signals an immediate strike as fiery visuals reflect urgency and command. Amid grand explosions and the call of fire, emergent leadership becomes evident amidst rising action. Fiery debris erupts amidst an ongoing battle scene. As figures seize newfound strength, a vigorous foe furthers chaos while embracing a new role. Determination and turmoil capsize strategic elegance. Amongst relentless turmoil, the downward spiral of a ship's disappearance dominates the scene. Waters churn as ultimate conflict finds a close, marked by impactful splashes and turbulent resolutions. A serene dawn breaks over a post-conflict world as characters reflect on survival. Both relief and hidden battles manifest through shared validation amid ruins, concluding with subtle camaraderie amidst the devastation. In an enlivened reality, a character marvels at newly acquired abilities. The intersection between naval prowess and phantom fleets culminates in curiosity over impending changes. Update notifications underscore narrative gaming influences. Amidst the aftermath, acknowledgments of auspicious acquisition interplay with group chats. As cinematic tribulations bid farewell, reflective counsel acknowledges the necessity of sacrifices shaping future plans. Urgency permeates as preparations proceed through chilling corridors. Amidst swirling doubts, dialogues hint at protection for now vulnerable Jae, preparing skeptical rally calls for Yoonhyuk's uncertain state. Amongst lush serene settings, appearances deceive as connection remains. Unexpected regard surprises, bridging conflicts reveal into tranquil recognition. A concise exchange underscores immediate relief amidst serene confirmation. In an arena, past dynamics shift amid strikes that blur motives. Celebration reveals buried tension. Confounding interactions forming under competitive release heads towards simmering revelation as unsettling insight awakens. Within shaded spaces, concealed truths emerge as recognition disrupts silence. Bittersweet confirmations unite against an enigmatic master as mechanical motions echo over silent regrets implying ominous foreboding. In an enclosed domain, tumult evokes pressing regrets as inevitable consequences blaze forward. A desperate, hurried activation extends the horizon for turbulent reactions under rapidly shifting control. Amid destruction, hard emotions spiral as injuries incite unseen reckonings. Defense falters amidst fury, igniting spirited urgency as darkened, controlled revelation manifests with considerable intensity. In a battleground of emotions, disparities drive conflict. Among moments of chaos dwells desperation unresolved, moving towards consequential clash, forging undeniable turning points within the turmoil. With fierce motion marking a turning point, forces contend as bruised resolve marks disparity. Challenges echo between strikes, exposing the tide in an unstable clash of wills. Within flooded corridors, danger unfurls in looming presence. Shouted warnings rip through the silent waters as imminent threats sharpen focus and stakes heighten, casting shadows over safety. In shadowed quarters, fear takes hold as demands echo against impending action. Cascading chaos slashes through worry. Eyes anticipate impact, signaling fierce inevitability juxtaposed with possible redemption. In a dim, chaotic room, a dark-haired man in sharp black attire commands attention with a smirk, looming over a bleeding man struggling to speak. He declares his control over Hyunseong, while a shocked woman in white observes the chaos. The tension is electric, promising more conflict. Among dim lights, an intense confrontation unfolds. Agitated, a tattered figure shouts, "Go for the cinema master." Charging forward, a protagonist's fury erupts, launching into action against a grinning older man in a top hat. The fierce exchange climaxes with a resounding strike. Hyunseong charges through a flooded chaos, his urgency palpable as he rushes to rescue Hyewon. Dynamic motions capture his strain and focus, while the command "jump" looms, signaling a potential turning point in the perilous scenario. With chaos unfolding, a dark figure looms ominously above Jihai. Energy crackles as Hyewon activates Time of Judgment and Gilyeong Thunder of McQuery. Hyunseong neutralizes the attack, leaving Jihai frustrated. The air crackles with uncertainty and thwarted hopes. In a dim setting, a confident dark-haired man reflects on his adversary's unexpected strength. Meanwhile, Gilyeong, filled with regretful determination, prepares to activate a skill. The moment brims with urgency as they brace for an imminent confrontation. A tense battlefield unfolds. A short-haired boy activates White Star weapon aura. Opposite, a calm figure in a green cloak reveals Blue Star weapon aura. Sparks fly as both prepare for battle. It's a display of raw power waiting to clash. Dynamic warfare unfolds. Hyunseong surges with determination, yet struggles to keep pace in a chaotic onslaught. Despite stat boosts, fatigue bites. Amid swirling debris, each move is critical. The battleground teeters on the edge of chaos. Energy swirls around as a figure in a long coat locks into the battle's rhythm. Omniscient Reader's viewpoint activates, adding depth to the fray. Emotional turmoil bleeds into reality. A discussion hints at endless loops locking hearts in strife. A dark-haired character wields blue energy, commanding power. His cries for control echo against worried opponents and a determined ally. High stakes dance in the tension-filled air. Reflective moments suggest deep consequences if the balance tips. A short-haired man, burdened with questions, wrestles with identity and purpose. A figure in black toys with the notion of lonely supremacy. As existential shadows deepen in a dim setting, the struggle between self and world sharpens. Manipulative words dart as blades clash violently. Hyunseong struggles under emotional weight and external pressure. The sinister figure taunts with memories and lost promises. Spiraling chaos aids the tone of despair gripping the fierce battleground. Amid debris-laden chaos, combat rages. One fighter claims solitude, shocking his comrade. Isolation becomes palpable within the heart of bustling war. The clash continues as characters wrestle with companionship's fickle nature against imminent threat. A confrontation fueled by bitter recollection sparks between two men. Accusations of past losses twist the knife deeper, unsettling the enemy. Energy swirls, suspense crescendos, and from shadows of pain arises a potential breakthrough. Across shifting scenes, characters reflect on survival against relentless chaos. Memories merge with present battles, resilient perseverance, enduring traumas. War ignites renewed efforts in their precarious playground of struggle and wisdom's pursuit. Amid cascading debris, the battle continues. Jung-hyuk remains resilient under the relentless assault, determined in his struggle, while his agile opponent capitalizes on momentary lapses. Explosive colors paint the gravity of their deadly dance. Emotions crash like tidal waves as fighters stare each other down. Cries of surprise intermingle with raw dynamics of combat. Meta-reflections punctuate the reality of constant cycles, driven by a singular question: why? Strategic clashes unfold amidst frenetic debris. Desperate contemplation threads through the chaos, each move dictated by sharp instinct. In a brief reprieve, the cinema master commands a shift, heightening risks in their ceaseless war. A green-cloaked figure darts among chaotic winds, pressing Jung-hyuk to his limits. Fierce fury and defiance charge the air amid adversity's taunt. Each confrontation etches resilience amid dynamic and elemental clashes. In a heated confrontation, a dark-clad figure pressures Jung-hyuk with a recollection, amidst energy twists. As surprise yields to empowerment, his determination becomes palpable. A signature slash ignites explosive counters in their fight. Within cosmic echoes, a powerful ability activates. As blue energy swirls, potentially randomized effects heighten suspense. Tactical prowess and intricate choreography define this electric battlefield, tethered to unknown limits and storm-like intensity. Nervous tension thrums as determination peeks through sweat and grit. The battlefield echoes with booming resonance. Power arcs amplify each moment's gravity. An opponent's shock shatters as both face the torrent of war. Amid vibrant energy, Jung-hyuk recovers swiftly, confusing foes. With renewed vigor, his presence thunders forward in dynamic scenery. The encounter threads high stakes with ethereal sparks and frantic sequences, a dance of tactics. As tension heightens, swirling movement and sudden shocks jolts all. An enigmatic figure emerges from the chaos, represented by a monstrous form. The air quakes with danger's approach, eviscerating the calm of a moment. In rain-soaked fury, battle unfolds with a fervor of clashing souls. Energy rings through the intense exchanges. A wicked grin invites doubt and peril, hinting at looming strategies under the tempestuous conflict. With fierce action amidst chaos, the struggle turns menacing. Grim determination faces twisting realizations. A surprise declaration unlocks potential, fueling anticipation and electrifying the air, setting the stage for another daring encounter. As metallic defenses surge, awareness shifts. Jung-hyuk draws from hidden reserves, dazzling with vitality. Deep realizations grip a hidden observer, glimmers of the fourth wall sparking intrigue and exposing veiled depths. The battlefield shift encounters disbelief, stunned realizations crash in. Victory hangs shimmering, awarding unexpected tokens. As alliances gather, revelations provoke wonder, hinting at unseen barriers loosening. Reality intertwines with introspection. Post-combat relief blankets the group as ominous threats yield to fleeting tranquility. Dokja expresses gratitude, observations wrapped in calm disbelief. Their shared safety offers a rare moment of unity amidst the uncertain future. Reflecting on triumph's aftermath, contemplatively gaze towards soul's disarray. Conversations merge reflection and anticipation, granting somber vistas over celestial phenomena, lighting humanity's struggles with stars. A fragile, beauty-heavy tension fills silences. Under starlit skies, emotions dance precariously through contrasting hopes and hidden fears. Characters ponder wishes upon disaster's cause. A solemn glint resides in each unspoken desire, surrounded by catastrophic landscapes and cosmic shadows. With dawn's arrival, consequences breathe life into survival dreams. Amidst park remains, achievements contrast new hells. Fragmented reflections celebrate survival while shadowed scenarios simmer tensions, foreshadowing turbulent paths against advancing chaos. Unexpected announcements awaken tension. A young man processes urgent notifications, surrounded by conscious decision-makers. Amid laughter and panic, camaraderie binds while new scenarios unpack profound possibilities, constructing precarious alliances ahead. Echoing metallic clangs anchor a dire setting as brewing intellects confer. Rapid exchanges unpack veiled truths, revealing constellations' limited perceptions. Ardent dialogues promote strategic insights amidst transcendent pollution. Amidst looming conflict, camaraderie manifests in shared burdens. Collaboration meets urgency. Reflections unfold between allies as mysteries deepen. As commitments intertwine, intricate dynamics express looming challenges for field companions. Reflections on trust intersect amid guarded confrontations. Hyunseong wrestles with overheard sentiments, curious about their consequences. Companionship evolves, intertwined within an ominous nexus known only by forged blades and whispered encounters with loyalty. Tension threads through whispered fears as truths emerge in dim light, grappling with hidden motives. Uncertain breaths pause across emotional overtones, wrestling beneath bright intent in dim environments, tempers and bonds entwined tightly. A corridor conversation ignites with charged requests, each word weighted. Plans drift between skepticism and anticipation as names draw pointed focus. Frustration simmers below loyal ambivalence, navigating strategic dances within emotional arenas. Group dynamics shift as characters acknowledge ascension through rapid exchanges. Unraveled strategies hinge upon previously armed leaders. Alliances teeter alongside new objectives in dynamic yet strained unity, where bonds test endurance with vigor. Nothing quiets the restless as emergent competitions sharpen goals. Leadership calls sway ambitious fires into action. A jostling mass yields sovereign power, instilling fragile order in chaos-driven chambers, ripe for strategy's delicate touch. Uncompromising ambition takes root as authority shines within grim halls. Calls grow urgent, an electrifying herald of future dominion, grounding delicate control. Leadership wavers in delicate suspense as scenarios close upon tender alliances. Newfound power courses through corridors of control. Flags turn charged with destiny underneath looming threats, while trust plays the tempo. Storms howls within shadowy panes, their wrath greeted by unexpected resolve rising. Unseeing boundaries flicker as protective designs enfold, skills etched amidst urgency. Surprised faces register imminent transformations. Fates dangle twixt masters' chorus amid unknown fluctuations. Quested allies brace together amid energistic balancing. Familiar bodies gather with authority riding rough. Spoken worlds fuel heat within narratives. Amidst shadows, boxed binds bear new rule sets. Amid agreements, breath guns versus silence build up each interlocking bond wrought. Interwoven paths stretch, delicate words twine across shifting echoes. Friends query, flickering heartbeats dance across straining motives wherein silent truths blink under these layers they've scripted from choices poise, emphasizing shared trajectories. Convergence arises amidst tension-laden tapestries. Subtle challenges and assurances dance within collective threads, across unspoken messages wielded in tactical confluence. Seeking truths amidst resistance, futures lean on each newcomer's belief, laced in destiny. Assertions of future rely on organizing hearts around shared essentials. Guided discussions lend security from incoming peril, while fierce conflicts ripple beneath salvation's tentative foothold. Shaping discourse liberates resolve amidst escalation's tides. An overseer faces sincere apologies and rejects them. Pride surfaces as critical puzzles await opening. Playful creatures messenger complex challenges, arming groups with competitive spirit in preparation for flags waved upon upcoming stakes. Crowds consolidate as complex scenarios erupt. Amid holographic consultations, concerns anchor strategic minds before new opportunities. Gazes sharpened over maps reflect mutual consensus. Catalytic moments hinge on plans within shadow's grasp. Conversations deepen as destiny peaks under broad consensus. Vital anxieties converge, disguising potential seeds for escalation. Rekindled strategies entwined with ambition shift, willing participants from hurtling diversion into resolute understanding. As aligned venture takes wing, worldly power redistributes amid nerves. Friendships weave hope, a result from division compelled into trust and franchise. Political landscapes feed new paradigms, realigning footholds engaged upon adapting orders. A dark-haired man in a beige jacket tries to assert dominance over the group with promises of safety in exchange for loyalty. The captives, visibly shocked and frightened, contemplate his ominous offer, but the revving sound of a motorcycle disrupts the tension, hinting at upcoming chaos. The unexpected intrusion could lead to a significant clash. The young man, surrounded by allies, grows concerned, musing over a possible incoming threat. A holographic display highlights the chaos around them, while conversations hint at delayed enemy movements. Under the watch of an authoritative figure, tension rises as they prepare for an inevitable confrontation. The atmosphere thickens with the looming potential invasion. In a shadowy room marked by splatters of red, nervous characters attempt to calm a volatile situation. Il-hun Kang, vice leader, confidently introduces himself, casting suspicion among the gathered. The appearance of a holographic profile ramps up suspicion, leading to whispers about Dokja Kim. The undercurrents of recognition and doubt intertwine in tense atmospheres. Amidst wary survivors, Hyunseong Lee's commanding presence is acknowledged with questions about his motives. He eases their concerns, stating a peaceful intent and offers of strategy. Yet skepticism lingers, with leadership, authority, and survival plans at the heart of the unfolding dialogue. Trust, it seems, remains a limited resource in this tactical standoff. Debates flare as a potential alliance is discussed. The dark-haired man offers strategy, hinting at broader plans beyond Chungmuro. Skepticism splits the group, with doubts about trust and deeper motives. The lighting casts intense shadows, reflecting their serious deliberations and the precariousness of tentative alliances in this fraught world. Under dim lighting, a group discusses potential collaboration given their differing targets. The conversation veers towards strategic advantage, with a promise of useful tactics. The atmosphere stiffens as talk turns to meeting a leader, paving the way for possible trust among the groups. Yet, the shadows around them remain thick with anticipation. A young woman questions the reasons for heading to Chungmuro, which leads to a confident response from a dark-haired figure. A map of subway lines emphasizes strategic possibilities, while whispered rumors of existing alliances sow seeds of tension in their planning. Meanwhile, an explosive sound effect punctuates the scene, signaling potential incoming action. Hyunseong leads anxious riders along darkened streets, their thoughts lingering on tales of a formidable Junghyuk. An ominous tension pervades, underscored by the rhythmic roar of motorcycle engines. As their speculative worries grow, an unexpected disturbance looms, marked by a thud, hinting at a looming danger that fuels their apprehension. A gunshot shatters the scene, throwing the group into confusion. Amidst the chaos, a dark-haired man in a beige jacket contemplates a risky plan to feign interest and gauge their foes. Yet, as hidden adversaries mock their subterfuge, tension escalates with a command to get him, propelling them into a potentially perilous confrontation. Frustration brews as a burly man reluctantly follows a young leader. Within this conflict-laden setting, supernatural phenomena manifest, a burst of energy showcasing the potency and surrealism of their reality. A sword-wielding figure's humor adds a pause, but only briefly, before time of judgment signals an impending battle and transformation. Within a dimly lit tunnel, full-scale panic unfurls, dominated by commands and cries warning of impending doom. The charged atmosphere stretches nerves thin, as Sangha orders quick actions to neutralize threats. Dokja speeds into motion, hinting at an unfolding crisis, while looming shadows suggest an urgent call to confront unseen threats. Survivors rally around the urgent need to plant their flag Chungmuro, amplifying the charged air with determination. A boy's serious demeanor anchors the scene as they face what looms ahead. Eyes remain fastened on the leader, anchoring the group's resolve around critical actions for survival, as every second counts. A battlefield teems with vivid colors and shouts. The Myeongdong group, strengthened by their red flag, navigates the chaotic environment. As strategies unfold centered on these identifiers of power, the stakes are clear. Determination shines amidst tactical maneuvers, while surprise attacks and volatile moments reinforce the urgency of victory. Combat intense and underscored by explosive energy, the scene immerses us into overwhelming chaos. Orders to regroup clash with cries to retreat. Flames dance as weapons ignite, casting a dynamic spotlight on the urgency of survival. With confusion reigning, every direction promises danger, reinforcing the frenzied scramble. In the aftermath of a stark blast, a young man tumbles into the deep chaos of smoke and debris. The oppressive atmosphere is marked by destruction, and the falling banner Myeongdong echoing loss. Bloodied figures and flames portray the grim aftermath of aggression, their silence speaking volumes of recent havoc. Tensions surge in a fight-laden setting. A furious figure contemplates direct confrontation, glowing eyes signaling a readiness to strike. Amidst fleeing figures, victory looms with the acquisition of a crucial flag, showcasing the high stakes. The dominating desire for position and power emerges as critical seconds dictate actions. Stillness follows catastrophe, as Ilhun vigilantly kneels introspectively post-battle. The bloody display bespeaks gravity, lending a backdrop to discussions on captives' use. As suggestions of torture emerge, decisions rest heavy. Every choice impacts survival, the would-be sacrifices on their journey toward understanding and controlling the subterranean landscape. Time becomes fleeting as a dark-haired man begins a countdown, wielding threats with a glowing sword. Desperation spikes with fearful admissions, as terror-stricken captives spill secrets of connections and prophecies. Crackling energy emphasizes the tension, underscoring shifting allegiances and the burden of withheld truths in this chaotic world. Urgency abounds as Sangha expertly binds a hostage, drawing tighter on their secrets. Whispers of hypnosis and clandestine encounters suggest a labyrinthine web woven by distant prophets. Thick chaos muffles the group's strategies, emphasizing their balancing act on the edge between caution and decisiveness in such uncertain terrain. In an outdoor setting brushed by first light, concern centers around the recovery of a master. Notations, intended for his eventual awakening, bear cryptic messages, mingling personal connections with anticipation. Conversations edge on secrecy and introspection, with external uncertainties lurking over the haze of whispered promises and internal contemplation. A conversation crackling with unresolved tension takes place amidst muted corridors, blending tension with playful commentary about shared resolutions. Previous promises surface, laying bare emotional complexities. Interactions draw upon personal histories and looming shadows as resolved, yet strained camaraderie colors this interaction in the softly lit corridors. A woman questions anxiously, prodding about a child's fate, sending ripples through the group. The emergence of potential new prophets suggests a deeper reading of their reality. Layered complexity comes to light amidst chaotic clangs, casting doubt and a yearning for clarity about identities and destinies within this impending revelation. Within somber halls, serious discussions delve into choices and consequences of their journey. With trust thin within the shadows, concerns grow about derelict allies. Foresight shudders hope amidst their negotiations, as decisions linger between pragmatic necessity and desired bonds, painting each interaction with a melancholic urgency. A voice echoes, Dokja, punctuating the corridor's stillness. Outside, devastated scenes unfurl, stained red alongside broken restraints. Melancholy saturates every gaze as destruction's aftermath, the consequence of lingering disputes, emphasizes the devastating persistence of threats against this backdrop of hard-backed reality and harsh truths. In shadows, do your choices echo? Investigative gazes scour markings of chaos, while this underground sanctuary is compromised, depicted through scattered debris. Questions arise about the quiet, missing presence. A story shadows push forward, where survival cradles urgent decisions marked by muffled sounds and unreliable allies. Drawing on an intense grip on authority, the dark-haired man registers his control of Myeongdong Station. The King's Path unveils a hidden scenario, layering their urgent mission with increased stakes. Yet beyond triumph stands uncertainty, foreshadowing challenges as they wrestle with moving shadows and possible failures. The corridors resonate with tension as characters in dialogue grasp the implications of an arduous scenario. The exchange leans on humor, yet underlines the mission's gravity. Encouragements are exchanged, revealing relational dynamics, with the looming threats highlighting the intricate dance between strategy and survival within a perilous world. Discussions within dim corridors bring forth debates on everyone's role and importance. Within a tense ambience, particular focus rests on Sangha, who grapples with her self-worth and position. Logistics buzz in the air, as alliances threaten to pivot and stealth strategies evolve among whispers and iron-cast resolve. In a gathering of tactical minds, a young man stands open to Ms. Yu's leadership. Her acceptance speaks volumes about potential ties, heralding readiness for coming trials. Their confidence breaks uncertainty's fog. This moment, before action, shadows peripheral musings on survival and emboldened firmer ties. With a sincere commitment to perform her duty, the narrative shifts to optimistic support. Omniscient Reader highlights their stratagem's own journey, as the map echoes with connections. Positive reflections temper the adversity faced, emphasizing growth and solidarity, with Sangha inspired towards strengthened unity in upcoming trials. Within narrow halls, Sangha's promotion reflects trust amid discussions layered with complexity. As topic shifts to Yonghyuk Yu, a figure veiled in mystery, light humor blends with serious tones. The conversation balances broader themes against personal narratives, anchored in realities mimicking the labyrinthine paths they navigate. In corridors marked by shadowed histories, moments flex between jocular exchanges and reflective realizations. Relinquishing truths, The dark-haired man expresses frustration tied to past loyalties. As discussions turn towards their destination, undercurrents of character relationships flow, resonating like the softened footsteps around them. In an isolated Dongdaemun, silence echoes as a slender boy ponders their pandemic of absent allies. Subtle realizations of collective strategies reveal the entailment of ominous control signals, like Dongmyo's shrouded presence, casting intentions from lit signs to speculation. Plans emboldened beneath curtained whispers. Empty terrains breathe tension, while broken alliances scream of snares and complex plots. As realization dawns on where paths cross, wariness tempers their readiness amid sudden noises of newcomers. A shared gaze anticipates risks amidst knowing conditions, held like ghosts against fading Dongdaemun shadows. A tense corridor exchanges hands between Ilhun's confidence and unclear motives. As introductions flare among sharp responses, the survival game sharpens in atmosphere. A skill trigger beckons insight to unexpected alliances among players holding doubts by their shared stillness before threats start anew. Explosive tension surfaces as a distressed protagonist navigates mounting pressure, while insightful suspicions thread the dialogue. With charged expectations, conversations explore links to past figures. Surprises linger amid shadowed facades, guiding decisive futures envisioned by intersecting pathways and recent truths yet untold. Assertions rise through tense revelations when Yu claims his name. Uncertain expressions testify to skepticism's periphery with light teasing dappling tension. Among those puzzled or intrigued, layers reveal subplots suggesting deeper implications behind such self-awareness in uncertain shadows. As a confrontation sharpens within conversational fences, the subtle weighing of power reflects between measured pauses. Deep knowledge tempts unsteady queries exacerbated by shallow laughs, while fear clutches hearts. Their paths intersect openly, negotiating identities in the intermediary belts of available truths. In a fraught corridor, clashing intents brew behind polite apologies, their murmur underpinning tension's currency. Names like Seongguk Lee unfold profound implications, origins cloaked in history. Underneath uncertain postures, hidden directions mold fragile meanings at the precipice of charged realities. Here, bloodstains trace shadows in Dongmyo's dim corridor where clandestine apprehension thickens. Wary glances judge the surface calm, while vibrations hint at brewing conflict. Concealed alliances test the temperament amidst loose holds. Dongwoo shrouds omen with threads poised on unshaken precipices. Declaration tautens the scene. A station lays claimed, prompting nervous stutters. Edge demands force an ultimatum, with an anticipatory countdown curbing reluctance. As hesitation wavers beneath growing stakes, decisions draw out breaking points, sharpening focus on deceptions entwined with authority thus assayed. Under shadowed resignation, Mr. Yu's stumbling words collide with precise calculations of turnabout possibilities swelled by tactical demands. Seongguk Lee's sovereign pledge juxtaposes against concealed contempt, a latent distrust against backdrop stage of fortified expectations, seated amidst politically weathered nuance. Crises beckon beneath dimming lights upon revelation-laden corridors awaiting interpretation. A golden-chained figure expounds on overlapping truths, where foretelling mutates into shared anticipation laced with danger. Illustrations of improbable intersections bring balanced insight laced with ponderous fissures looping through urgency. Taut moments unfold as substantial investments into attributes flare with potential realization. Accelerated movements dance amid sudden shifts, while distant understanding touches digital synchrony. Like gravity, guarded discussion surrounds their presence among codes, expanding the semidem sanctum's spectral bearings. Foundations shudder within secret, cyclical entanglements beneath Dongmyo, urged by tactical shifts. Interaction dances like tremulous light. A similar kingdom draws shared themes. Expectations leaven conversation, charting subterranean paths. Block interests balancing authority's thin guise with cautious dispensation. Nearby, quiet whispers plot their shadows play. Futuristic forewarnings illustrate stirring entanglement between clandestine dominion and emerging influence beneath screens reflecting futurescape narratives. Here, trappings spin a unity of digital bearings. Subway tracks hint busy, enigmatic schemes. Toward mid-shadows, future ambitions knit positions with revealed foresight threading gifted advancements. Sustaining the rhythm of information-driven nexus, Dong-hoon balances external whispers with skill-based corroboration from his virtual enclave. Inputting interaction scales global boundaries, from Seoul to distant counterparts. Yet, encased revelations within cramped confines evince potentialities layered with digitally masked organizational threads. Incoming voices weave together, probing foresight's grasp as queries unfurl into intangible terrain. Beneath this nascent spotlight, personalities wreathe anxious tendrils as mutual anticipation sieves relevant grounding. The silent being at their digital center lies deliberately poised, while initiation amalgams strewn knowledge within feverish penumbras signifying reluctant clarity. Within closed confines, uncertainty shifts between curt exchanges of assumed pride and contained stratagems. Alliance building mounts incrimination while polish and wit hint at indirect realities, enfolding deeper veracity alongside tactical barriers preserving intent. Narratives furrow allegiances. Shadows shush oblique diligence toward recognition's erudition. In dim, industrial rooms, discernment takes center stage as revelation unfurls future escapes. Regression, a forbidden power, wields weight against mused entities as dialogue exchanges silent resolutions. Past struggles tap into clear recognition, expounded against subtle urgency hinting toward stronger unions as promises bespeak realism surpassing reasonable conjectures. In a dimly lit room, tension fills the air as Dong-hoon Han discusses the prophets with Mr. Yu. This time, things may change due to the revelations contained in the Book of Revelations. Intrigue hangs heavy as they ponder past and future exploits. But will this path truly guide Mr. Yu to success? Seongguk stands contemplatively, responding to Mr. Yu's skepticism with a complex tale. The story weaves a new life different from past regressions. Confusion colors the room as another couple questions the appearance of a stranger. Mystery and intrigue collide in this dimly lit space. Deep in a basement, a proposal of an alliance tinged with deceit unfolds. Underneath polite words, ulterior motives lurk. Swords clash with words as suspicion reigns high, challenging trust and intentions. But is this alliance genuine or merely a facade? In a room filled with unknown judgments, an authority figure demands submission. The pressure mounts as a man kneels, visibly shaken. Power and fear grip the exchange as uncertainty lies in every apology. Commands echo, but will compliance bring safety? Dong-hoon Han grapples with revealing his hypnotic abilities to Mr. Yu, a revelation fraught with anxiety. As hints of connections and past actions emerge, the weight of expectations presses down heavily. Mysteries deepen, and so does the tension. Kneeling, a character claims the title of the ninth renouncer. Confusion mingles with skepticism, and an argument breaks open. Yet, levity sneaks in with a moment of distraction through a phone, contrasting the profound tension of revelation. The dim basement houses frustrated queries about conflicts and supporting roles, then, thud, unforeseen events interrupt, drawing focus away from internal battles. Alarm explodes into the air. What unknown scenario has just begun? A chaotic sight filled with debris, where the muscular main character demands answers. A crash punctuates the air as he rushes, calling out for Hyeon. Will he reach them amidst the swirling chaos and destruction? Inside, a man in red exclaims apologies, surrounded by signs of conflict. Intervention broke the fight's spell, but is regret enough to mend the fracture. Tension births apologies, a bid for peace amidst chaos. Hyunseong's commanding voice echoes in the dim room. She challenges Yu's presence, revealing him as a prophet. Surprise shapes the room, revealing past confusions and shadowy truths. Time to talk, but what secrets will unravel next? Skepticism invades as characters discuss appearances and reputations. Laughter laces the air, punctuated by teasing indignities. Yet one person's annoyance persists, revealing tension beneath recent comedic banter. Tempers shift. Where do loyalties truly lie? Amidst dim lighting, identities and intentions are questioned. Min Seok-young's approach is overly familiar. What's truly at play? Uneasily, the focus narrows onto undercover truths lurking just beneath the surface. In whispers, the 1089th renouncer speaks and the room shudders with old secrets. Cultures clash, weighed by unseen histories and future uncertainties. How many renouncers truly remain? The answer's profound, or perilous. Hyunseong recalls delusional demons and past encounters. There's confusion about identities in the room, yet each recalls fractured memories intersecting with fate. Why does prophecy align differently? Their quest for clarity deepens. Frustration snarls as the demon's defeat sparks unintentional consequences. Changes in past regressions highlight a deluge of shifting timelines, while the phrase secretive plotter sug its far-reaching mystery, implications burn to the touch. In a vast underground facility, Donak Kim and others contemplate identities and authority. Vast spaces encourage speculation. Shadows engulf the room, while raised voices push for decisive action. Misjudgments linger ominously. Missteps appear as past plans foil current ambitions. Disciples focus on power over altruism. At the meeting's end, steely determination sets the stage for upcoming action. What stark clashes loom ahead? Is it true they see the future? Dokja's facade fades under scrutiny. Preparing for the tyrant king, knowledge feels a double-edged sword, wielding potential and unyielding guilt. Will forewarned challenges bear fruit? With urgency, gathering disciples highlight a story in flux. Dokja Kim must act, but what of the potential downfall from the tyrant king? Lingering shadows bristle ominously, threatening to stifle fragile balance. Fear simmers beneath darkness as hidden forces move. As a figure in gray stands guard, chaos brews nearby. Desperate hands grasp in the murk. What truths twist this tangled tapestry of shadows? New faces paint the dim room with tension. Reassurance mingles with distrust as a promise of non-aggression stands tall. Layers unfold between words. Intention unknown, influence dances on the wire. Promises of friendship wrapped in ulterior motives, where diplomacy's mask treads deceit's edge. Once timid alliances fracture under scrutiny. But whose thread unspools the story? The silence holds more questions than answers.